Good morning, dear students. A very warm good morning to all of you and welcome back in our biology session. So my dear students, as we know that in our biology we are discussing about lesson number 7, weather, climate and adaptations of animals to climate. So from this lesson already we have discussed some points. We have discussed about climate. Also we have discussed about the weather. Also we have discussed among the difference between the weather and climate. But in today's session we are going to move for the next one point from the same lesson. In today's session we are going to discuss that how exactly these climate changes or how it exactly the climate affects on the living organism, how the living organisms are getting adapted to the certain climatic conditions. Okay. Regarding this we have already discussed or you have already learned about in your 6th standard in the lesson number 9 how the animals are getting adapted for the particular climatic condition. Okay. Also in this year in the lesson number 9 you will discuss about or we will learn about how the climate and weather affects on the soil. Okay, so in this way all these are the factors or because of the climate different changes takes place in our surrounding. So in today's session we are going to discuss that how is the climatic condition affects on the living organism. So as we have discussed previously, according to the place the weather is changed and according to that weather observation we are predicting the climate for that particular region. Okay, so in this lesson we are going to discuss about the adaptations of animals to climatic conditions. We discuss only animals those who are living in the polar region and the tropical rainforest. Okay, so from these two points we are going to discuss about the adaptations of the polar bear and in which those who are living in the polar region, and also we are going to discuss about the tropical rainforest, which type of the animals are living in the tropical rainforest. Okay, so see here the polar region are situated near the poles as we know that, and that is the reason that is what North Pole and the South Pole. Some well-known countries that belongs to the polar region are Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Alaska in USA and Siberian region of Russia. Examples of some countries where the tropical rainforests are found are, we can say our India, then there is a Malaysia, Indonesia, Brazil, Republic of Congo, Kenya, Uganda and Nigeria. All these are the countries where we can find out the tropical rainforest. Okay, so just we will go through the first one region, that is we are going to discuss about the polar region. So the polar region present an extreme climate condition. Okay, the polar region present an extreme climate. These regions are covered with snow and it is very cold for most part of the year. So as we know the polar regions means what, the North Pole and the South Pole, there is a extremely cold climatic condition most of the part of the year, and it tell us or it shows the very cold climatic condition. Why? Because there is whole the land is covered with the snow and it is very cold for the most part of the year. And very important thing about the polar region is what? For the 6 months the sun does not set at the poles, while for the other 6 months the sun does not rise. Means there is a sun rise for the 6 months and there is a sunset for the 6 months. Okay, next one, and in winter there is a very adverse climatic condition, that is in winter the temperature can be low as minus 37 degree Celsius. Okay, so in that particular region also the animals are living. So which are the some adaptive features in that animals which enable that animals to live in that particular climatic conditions. Okay, so we are going to discuss that only in this point. So the animals living there have adapted to these severe conditions. Let us see how they are adapted by considering some examples. Okay, so my dear students, if I'll talk about the polar region, then the first example come in our mind, that is what? Polar bear. Okay, the first example or the first animal which comes in front of our eye, that is nothing but what? Polar bear. So let's discuss about the adaptations in the polar bear, those who are living in the polar region. Okay, so let's discuss about the adaptation in polar bears. Okay, but before going to see the adaptation in the polar bear, let's just revise what is meant by the adaptation, or what is the definition of the adaptation. The favorable features and habitat that helps the organisms to survive and breed in their surrounding. Okay, so what favorable features and habitats also? Habitat means what? The natural place where the living organisms or the animals are living. It is called as what? Habitat. So the favorable features and habitat that helps the organisms to survive and breed, okay, to survive and also helps to reproduce, okay, is called what? Adaptation. So particular climatic conditions, the animals are living in that climatic condition. Different climatic conditions are having different animals, and they are having the different adaptations in them. So here we are discussing about the adaptations in the polar bear. Okay, so let's discuss the first one. Polar bear have two thick layers of fur on their body. The outer thick layer of fur is made up of hollow air. Okay, the hollow air trap the air, and which is a bad conductor of heat and keep the body warm. Okay, so see, this polar bear is having the two thick layer of the fur, or the hairy structure is there. Okay, hair like structures are present on the body of the polar bear. So there are two thick layers of the fur on their body. The outermost layer is the outer thick layer of fur is made up of hollow air. Okay, they are made up of hollow air, and that hollow air traps the air, and it is a bad conductor of heat. It means what? It does not allow the heat to go out from their body, and in this way keeps their body warm. Next one is there, they have the thick layer of fat. As we know that we have discussed this in our previous lectures or in the previous standard. So that polar bear have the thick layer of fat, which is called as what? Blubber. Okay, and this fat is act as an insulator. Insulator means what? They does not allow the body heat to comes out from the body, and it helps to survive the polar bear in the cold climatic condition. Okay, so they have a thick layer of the fat called blubber under the skin that keeps the body warm in extremely cold climate. This fat layer also provides the nutrition, very important. So see, as we know that the polar bear are living in the polar region, or north and the south pole of the earth is called as what? Polar region. So in that area there is a very cold climatic condition, so many less animals we can see over there. So it is not possible for the polar bear to get all the time food. Okay, so whenever there is a scarcity of the food, that time the polar bear use this fat as a purpose of nutrition. Okay, so this fat layer also provides nutrition when food becomes scarce in severe cold climatic condition. Okay, so these are the two adaptations we have seen up till now. Next one, very important. See the image of the polar bear. What is the color of the polar bear? Yes, it is a white in color. Snow is also white in the color, and that is the one of the best, or the one of the most important adaptation of the polar bear. That is what? It has the layer of the fur which is a white in color, and that white fur layer camouflage it. Okay, it helps to camouflage their body in the snow. So it is very hard to spot the polar bear in that snowy region. Okay, so they have white colored fur so that they are not easily visible in the snowy white black background. After that, what happened? Because of that camouflaging effect, what happened? It protects them against their predator. Predator means what? Who kill and eat them. It also helps them in catching their prey. So that white fur helps to camouflage their body, and because of that camouflaging effect, the polar bear can easily protect themselves from the predator, and also it helps them to catch their prey very easily. Okay, so this is the next one adaptation in the polar bear. Now we will move for the next one. They have the very strong sense of smell that they can locate and catch their prey very easily. Next one, they have the short ears and tails. So this prevents the loss of the body heat through these parts. Okay, so they are having the short ears and the tail also. With these prevent the loss of the body heat through this part. Next one, They have long, curved and the sharp claws. Okay, the polar bears are having the long, curved and the sharp claws there that you can see in the image, that helps them to walk on ice. Okay, that helps them to walk on ice. Next one is their physical activities. See, sometime as we know that in the 6 months there is a sunrise and the 6 months there is a sunset. So whenever there is a sunrise, that physical activities keeps their body extra warm. So it is necessary to keep the normal body temperature, and to decrease that excessive body temperature, the polar bears are doing swimming in the cold snowy water, and for that purpose they are very good swimmers also. Okay, so the physical activities on the warm days makes the polar bear feel hot, so they cool themselves by swimming in the icy sea. They move slowly to avoid the getting overheated. Okay, so they are doing this to avoid the overheating of their body. Okay, next one, their paws are wide and large. You can see in the image their paws are wide and large. That helps them not only in the swimming, okay, that paws, that wide and the large paws helps them in the swimming, but also it helps in the walking with ease on the snow. So with the help of that wide paws and the large paws, they can easily swim also, and they can easily walk on the snow also. Okay, next one, they are excellent swimmers. Okay, while swimming underwater, they close their nostrils and can remain underwater for the long duration. They are very good swimmers, and while swimming they can close their nostrils and can remain underwater for the long duration. Okay, so my dear students, up till now we have seen one of the important example, or one of the important adaptations, or we have seen about the adaptations in the polar bear. That is a very important, or the most famous example in the polar region, we can say that. But polar bear is not only the one animal those who are living in the polar region. Okay, along with the polar bear there are the certain other animals too, those who are living in the polar region. Among them, one of the important animal, that is what? Penguins. Okay, so let's see the adaptations in penguins. Okay, so penguins, as we know, the penguins are the flightless bird. They live in the Antarctic region. Okay, the penguins are the flightless birds. They live in the Antarctic region, that is what? South pole of the earth. Next one is there, penguins do not have predators, okay, on land in the remote icy region where they live. Means, see, the penguins' foods are not present in the, so the penguins are flightless birds. Why they are flightless birds? Because they no need to fly. Why? Because their food is not in a land. It is not present on land. So what is their food? What they are eating? They are eating the fish which is present in a water. So for that reason they no need of the wings to fly, because they are no needed to find out the food on the land. Their food is present in a water, and to swim in a water there is no need of the wings. Okay, so penguins do not have predators on land in remote icy regions where they live. They eat fish. They are very good swimmers, so as to look for their food. Okay, and that is the reason why the penguins are very good swimmers, because their food is present in the water, so they have to swim very nicely. That is the reason the penguins are very good swimmer. Since they do not need to fly to look for their food, they have lost their ability to fly. And see, that is the reason the penguins are not flying, because their food is not present on the land. It is present in the water. That is what? Fish. That is the reason it is no need to fly them, and that because of that reason what happened, the penguin have lost their ability to fly. Okay. So let's see some of the other important adaptations of the penguins. Penguins can live in the extremely cold climate of the polar region because of the following adaptations. Let's see which are that adaptation. First one, as we know that you can see in the image also, how is the penguin? They are white in color, and black colored feathers on their back. Okay, so they are in a generally they are in a white in color, but their back is having all the black colored feathers on their back. The white color merge well with the white surrounding of ice and snow, and their white color of the body can easily get merged with the white surrounding of ice and snow. Next one. The black colored feathers on the penguin's back absorb the heat from the sun and help them keep warm during the day. So there is one reason. See, each and every part of the body is having certain functions, whether it is animal, bird or human being. So see, in the white color portion of the penguin, what happens? It helps to merge their body with their surrounding. But the black color portion of the penguin's body helps them to absorb the heat from the sun and keeps their body warm during the day. Next one, they also have the thick skin and they have a layer of fat called blubber below their skin and keeps them warm in the extremely cold climatic condition, as we have seen in the polar bear. So the function is same. Okay, next one is there, that is they huddle together in groups to keep themselves warm. Huddle means what? See in the image I will show you, means they are living near to each other. Okay, they are living near to each other. They are very closely to each other. Why is it so? Because they huddle together in group to keep themselves warm. Okay, so see in the winter season, if we are sitting near to each other, then we can feel warm. Okay, why? Because the heat cannot pass out from our body very easily if we huddle with each other. So each group may comprise severe thousands penguin, and in that one group there are the thousands of penguins are living together, huddling together. Next one. They are excellent swimmer. They have streamlined body. Streamlined body means what? At the end there is a taper body and in the middle there is a broad body. Okay. Also they are having the flipper like wings and webbed feet that help them to swim very easily in a water. Okay. So these are the certain adaptations of the penguins, but my dear student, along with these adaptations, the animals are doing certain other processes also. They are showing the response for the certain other processes also. For example, we can say that what? Hibernation. Okay, hibernation and the migration. Now hibernation means what? During the extremely cold climatic condition, some animals are going very deep under the ground. Okay, very deep, or we can say the winter sleep. It is called as what? Hibernation. Winter sleep is called as what? Hibernation. To avoid the harm to the body for that extremely cold climatic conditions, some animals are going very deep under the soil. That time where is the food, or from where the food get available for them? Yes, that time they are using the layer of the fat which is present in their body. Okay, that fat provides them nutrition. Okay, and as the winter season get over, they again come back on the land. That is called as what? Hibernation. Along with that hibernation, we know that migration also. What is meant by the migration? The bird migrates to warmer region when winter sets in. They come back after the winter is over. This is called what? Migration. So sometime what happen? The bird, those who are living in the extremely cold climatic condition, to avoid the harm to their body in that extremely cold climatic condition, they migrates from that cold climatic conditions. It comes to the hot climatic conditions. Means during the winter they come into the other parts of the countries where the climate is hot, or we can say moderately hot, and that process, and once that winter get over from that region, it goes back to their original habitat. Okay, so that is called as what? Migration. So there are so many different birds are there, those who are showing the migration, such as we can say that one of the most common migratory bird that comes to India every year for a few months, that is what? Siberian crane. You can see in the image how is the Siberian crane. So that Siberian crane's normal habitat is what? Siberia, which is very cold place. When winter sets in the Siberia, it gets extremely cold. At that time, the Siberian crane fly thousands of kilometers and come to relatively warmer place of India. So they travel the thousands of kilometer distance and they comes to the India where the climate is moderately hot. such place where they comes, such as Bharatpur in Rajasthan and Sultanpur in Haryana and some other parts of India. They stay and warmer places in India for the few months. The Siberian cranes fly back to Siberia when the winter gets over there and the climates become favorable. Okay, so some mammals are also doing that. Mammals, many types of the fish and the insects also showing the migration, migrate seasonally in search of the suitable climate. Along with the some birds, some mammals and some insects and some butterflies also showing the migration. Every winter the Arctic terns fly all the way to Antarctica and return to the Arctic region. Almost they are covering the 35,000 kilometer distance. Okay, so in this way the birds are showing the migration. But my dear students, it is very important how that birds are doing that migration, how they come to know exactly the path where they are going or where directions. So it is the one of the mystery that how the birds are showing the migration. Okay, so birds travel to the same place everywhere. It is a mystery. It seems some birds have a sense of direction, while some birds probably use the landmark for guide. Okay, so many take the guidance by the direction of the sun and the stars. There is some evidences that the birds use the magnetic field of the earth to find the direction. So these are the certain clues that the birds are using. Some birds are having the very sense of the direction, very good sense of the direction. Some birds are probably use the landmarks for the guidance. Also they take the guidance by the direction of the sun and the stars. Also it is some evidences are there which shows that the bird uses the magnetic field of the earth to find the direction. Okay, so my dear students, up till now we have discussed the many more points. We have discussed about the adaptations in the polar bear, then we have discussed about the adaptations in the penguin, and we have discussed about the migration. Okay, so this is all about today. Today we will stop here. We will meet in the next video with the next point. And for today, thank you.